Okay, well, talk. Minimalism always looks super appealing online, right? Like scrolling through Instagram, you see perfect white walls, stylish but minimalist furniture, plants just in the right place. Everything looks calm, organized, and stress free. But what nobody tells you is the stuff behind the scene, the anxiety of trying to keep up, the awkward conversation with friends who just don't get it, and the feeling of guilt when your space don't look like a minimalist influencer's. Trust me, I've been there. And today, we're diving deep into the not so perfect side of minimalism that no one really talks about. So if you're considering becoming a minimalist or you're already in your journey and feeling overwhelmed, stick around because this one is for you. Let's get into it. Number one, minimalist guilt and anxiety. So this one is one of the realest things that nobody seems to talk about. And that's the weird guilt and anxiety that can come with minimalism. When I got started, I thought minimalism was supposed to make life simpler. So why did I suddenly find myself stressing over every little thing that I own? I scroll through Instagram, see these perfectly curated minimalist space, and immediately started questioning everything. Like, why do I still have 7 coffee mugs? Why I haven't managed to declutter the drawers in my apartment yet? And honestly, it started feeling like if my space wasn't spotless or didn't match the Pinterest aesthetic, I was failing at minimalism. But then I realized something that took me forever to realize. Minimalism isn't some competition or a strict set of rules that you need to follow perfectly. It's literally just about making life easier for yourself, not adding another layer of stress. And I had to learn this the hard way, especially when clutter kept creeping right back into my life, making me feel like a fake minimalist. So here's what you should do, right? Remind yourself regularly that your version of minimalism doesn't have to look like everyone else's. It's completely okay if your home doesn't resemble a minimalist influencer's because minimalists should help you feel free, not trapped. So embrace your version of it, imperfection and all, and I promise you that anxious feeling of never being minimalist enough will start to fade away. Number two, constant comparison, social media versus reality. This one is one of the trickiest things I've learned about minimalism. Constant comparison. And you know the feeling, right? You're casually scrolling Instagram and suddenly you're hit with those picture perfect minimalist apartment. Perfectly lit, plants everywhere, not a speck of clutter in sight. And you're starting to think to yourself, wow, my space doesn't look anything like that. And I remember one specific night, I was scrolling through a minimalist influencer's feeds, looking at their flawless, perfect apartment. And I glanced up from my phone, saw my unmade bed, random piles of clothes waiting to be folded, and my messy desk. Instantly, I felt like a minimalist imposter. Like, how could I call myself a minimalist if my room looked this chaotic compared to theirs? But the truth of the matter is, those flawless Instagram shots aren't reality. They're just curated highlight. No one's home, and I mean no one's, look perfectly minimalist 24/7 a day. Behind every beautifully staged photo, there's usually a pile of clutter just outside the camera frame. So here's my advice to you from someone who had to learn this the hard way. Minimalism isn't about having your home look Instagram ready all the time. It's about creating a space that makes you feel good, relaxed, and happy. So if social media is triggering that comparison and making you feel inadequate, it might be time for a digital detox, mute, unfollow, or just take a break. Remember, your minimalist journey is about you and your fulfillment, not about matching someone else's carefully edited aesthetic. Number three, minimalism as a form of privilege. Now let's get real for a moment about something that really gets mentioned in the minimalist community. The idea that minimalism itself can be a privilege. And here's what I mean. At the start, minimalism made you feel pretty proud of yourself for decluttering and embracing a simpler life. It felt great, freeing even. But it didn't hit me until later that being able to consciously choose minimalism is actually a luxury not everyone has. Think about it. For some people, minimalism isn't a cool lifestyle trend. It's their reality because they genuinely can't afford more. They aren't choosing minimalism to declutter their mental space or follow a trend. They're living with less out of necessity. And honestly, realizing this shifted my entire perspective. It made me appreciate that choosing to have less meant I was already fortunate enough to have had more than I needed. Minimalism is easier when you're financially stable enough to let go of things without worry, right? If you toss out something and later realize you needed it, you can usually just replace it without much stress. But for many people, that's not even the case. So I'll say this, stay mindful and compassionate. Recognize the privilege in being able to choose minimalism freely. Let it inspire gratitude, humility, and compassion towards others whose life look minimalist not by choice, but by circumstances. Remember, minimalism isn't just about how little you can own, it's also about how consciously and compassionate you live your life. Number 4, the risk of isolation and misunderstanding. Okay, so this part somewhat surprises me because of the weird reaction you sometimes get from friends and families. Because the thing was, I was pretty excited about clearing out clutter, talking about simplicity nonstop, the whole thing. But pretty quickly, I noticed something unexpectedly. Not everyone around me was on board. And actually, a lot of them just didn't get it at all. And I remember this one specific weekend I visited families back home, and my minimalist ways became the center of some pretty awkward dinner conversation. Like, I casually mentioned that I had gotten rid of most of my wardrobe, and suddenly I was met with confusion and a few skeptical laughs in the "why would you do that" line. It felt pretty uncomfortable for a while. And here's the thing, minimalism can be pretty personal, and sometimes your enthusiasm can make others feel judged or defensive, even if you don't mean it that way. People might assume you're being critical of their own lifestyle choices, when in reality, you're just excited about improving your own life. So be open and gentle in how you talk about minimalism. Share why it matters to you, like the freedom, clarity, and peace it brings, but also make it clear that you're not judging or expecting the same thing from everyone else. And it's okay if your friends or family don't fully get it, but what's important is mutual respect. Because at the end of the day, minimalism is supposed to simplify your life, not complicate your relationships. Number 5, minimalism obsession. Lastly, this is the rarest one most people don't talk about, when minimalism becomes a little too much. Because trust me, it can happen. Sometimes you can really get caught in the decluttering and simplifying my life process, but before you know it, you find yourself stressed out every time something feels slightly out of place. For example, I'd be relaxing at home and suddenly notice one too many items on the table, or a shirt I barely wear hanging in the closet. And right there, instant anxiety. I was constantly thinking, is this minimalist enough? But the truth, minimalism is supposed to reduce stress, not create more. But for a while, I find myself compulsively decluttering and obsessing over keeping everything perfectly minimal. And it took some honest self-reflection to realize that I turned minimalism from a helpful practice into another source of stress. So here's my final tip to you. Regularly check in with yourself and ask yourself, am I decluttering because it truly benefits me, or has it become an unhealthy obsession? Because remember, minimalism should always make your life simpler and happier, not give you something new to obsess over. If it starts feeling stressful, it's okay to take a step back and refocus on why you started minimalism in the first place. And that can be peace, clarity, and genuine joy. So thank you guys for watching today's video. And if you gain any sort of value from this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and push the notification bell for more on minimalism, sustainable fashion, and personal finance. And I'll see you guys on my next video.